Alright, welcome, good evening, and welcome back. It is time to review the second day of the Japan Chess Championship 2025. We actually did the day one review this morning, but I realized I have a bit of time tonight, and the rounds are finished, and I think the results should be going up if they aren't already. Actually, I just realized we should maybe just double check that there are results for round 4, otherwise this is going to be silly. There definitely are, absolutely no problems. But we won't actually be looking here. We are going to be looking over here on the broadcast. 3 and 4 are in. So the Chess Championship, it says here 26th Argentina Cup. That's because the Argentine embassy in Tokyo is actually the sponsor of this, or one of the main sponsors, I guess, for this tournament every year. I don't know the details, but safe to say that they got themselves in there, and obviously everyone appreciates them helping out, so that's really nice. Alright, I think we're gonna go ahead. You'll see here there's only 4 boards for those who didn't check the first recap or know anything about the tournament. There are actually a bunch of people competing. Actually, lots of people competing. 85 are registered, but digiboards are only available for the top 4 boards, so we unfortunately only really know what's happening on the top 4 boards, and we'll have to wait for the rest of the details once our friends and other competitors potentially put out their games or their write-ups or whatever it might be. In some tournaments they also provide the participants at the end of the tournament, maybe a week or two afterwards, like a PDF or some kind of file with all the games that were played inside it, so you can go look at them yourself. That's always really nice, although I would very much prefer just like a digital PGN instead, but still, that's sometimes really nice. Alright, so I'm keen to look at this because these players, the top boards are very strong, and hopefully we can sometimes learn a thing or two. So here we can see Tran is the top rated player in Japan. He won again. Aoshima, Mirai was seed number 2 for this tournament. They drew against Nakamura, Naohiro, sugoi. Nanjo is also, I think, the 3rd seed, and they also drew Nagataki, Kota. Oh wow! And Yamada Kohei actually overtook Shou, Otsuka, or someone like that, who was seed 4, because they drew the previous round. So they got the 4th board, and they also drew. So wow, 3 draws and only 1 win by the top seed. And actually maybe I'll just kind of, so here, so Tran is top, Aoshima to Nanjo's 3rd, and then Otsuka Shou drew the previous round, and so for this time they were replaced by Yamada Kohei on board 4 in terms of who's the favorite. So let's have a look quickly. Round 3, we're going to be looking at these 4 games now. So a 2000 rated player against 24, almost 24, so it's another 2000, 20, almost 2350, and another 2000 versus almost 22. Alright, so the competitors, the challengers, are all about 2000 FIDE, and the top seeds are 24, 23, 22-ish, 100 rated, so very strong, obviously. Alright, let's have a look and see what happened in these games then. So, first one, top seed, main man himself, is, oh hang on, I said I would double check that the streaming is active because I've been hanging some silly things. Alright, we're on there, good times. Right, let's have a look, let's see what this game was. We don't have an engine graph, but for a few positions I'll open it up, and I'm also keeping the opening book just to see up to where we're playing kind of general theory or games that follow similar situations. F3, I like it already. Ozukato, already action. Knight f6, so just copying. Oh, and then coming with c5. Interesting. c5 already not like one of the main moves. I normally see something like this in the first 2 moves. I myself tend to play d5. Okay, c5 also a good move. This always, unless it's a King's Indian attack, comes along with c4, d4, so c5 is going to be useful against any d4 opening. you might as well play it, unless you want to play c6, d5 and try and block up this diagonal completely, I guess. Bishop g2, knight c6, castle, and then e5. Interesting. So black is just coming to take over the center completely. d3, d5. Look at that. Alright, I'm actually just going to quickly... So I could have started this way, for instance. I could have started here. Then you go. Then I could have gone here, I guess. Then you go here, here, and here. So I could have gotten the same kind of center, just with a different move order. This is the French variation of the King's Indian attack. And this one is still called the Zuckertort, although very similar. Okay, interesting. So here, e4. It is a King's Indian attack. Love it. I myself have been playing it in Blitz again, just a little bit. I've also been playing the Maces, which is d3 first. And then you play something like... I'm just going to put a move on the board. Oh, sorry. Then you play f4. I've had someone play this against me, which is really fun. So this is kind of like a Dutch, like a bird with the d3 included. And it kind of leads to a similar situation as King's Indian attack, a little bit more aggressive, and therefore also obviously it has a few warning bells on it, but very interesting, I thought. Alright, cool. So King's Indian attack, I like it a lot. It's interesting to play against as black. I've got a fun line to play against it as black, and as white, obviously, it's got a good reputation. I actually recently watched an opening tier list by... Oh, I forgot his name. The leading Latvian Grandmaster. Something N-I-E... Nikans? Not Nimans. Nixons? Anyway. And he mentioned that the King's Indian attack is avoided at the top levels by the black player, not because it's an auto win, but I guess just the danger inside it, the imbalance or the potential for white to launch an attack is a little bit uncomfortable, so apparently top level grandmasters avoid it a bit. Anyway, I like this. This is a thing that I see a lot, and here you kind of, you trade here, and then, hey, didn't I just lose a pawn? But in this case, you can actually take back and then take, oopsie, and then take the knight, and you're equals. I take here, you take, I take, and then this is very equal. I've got two pieces developed, you're going to get another one developed. But yeah, it's a dangerous situation, I guess. Alright, so, oopsie daisy. Let's go back and see what happens here. Knight c3 is not what I'm used to. I guess you're trying to get this and then maybe play around here. And then go up there. Otherwise, maybe you don't mind sacking the pawn for something. I'm not sure. No, you're going back. Okay, so this is basically looking a bit like a French, isn't it? From the white side. Where you've got an advanced French situation from the black side like this often. Okay, yeah. Alright. A3, and finally here we leave the Masters database. Still available as 94, 91. Basically preparing this break now that you have two minor pieces and a rook helping it out. But instead, white says, I guess I can take some time just to stop your knight from coming through. Are we still available? Yeah, top Letish still has some games. Bishop e6. Only one player played that, but there's still 3 games behind it anyway. Oh, okay, we're just transposing around a little bit, and here we leave the games. Here, what did people do? Castle long? That seems kind of insane. I guess not. What if I play something slower? Oh, it's still castle short. Okay, never mind. Alright, so here we're going to leave the theory behind. Queen over. Yeah, okay, so black's going to try and get counterplay. White's going to try and break on the king side. There's the break. This is always a frustrating diagonal to take care of, and obviously this pawn is hanging right now, so protect it. Here you gotta be sure that this is okay. Obviously the rook is protected though, so that's not gonna happen. Oopsie daisy. Alright, comes over, probably looking at this square now that the queen is helping out. Knight up. Here, 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 protecting it as well, so take, and then take. Now white's got a bit of a broken situation, but they might still be able to launch something, you never know. Bishop over, stopping the pawn from coming forward. B4, castles. takes opens up against the queen, and it's defended, so you can't take back. Okay, interesting. All right, so yeah, so this king's Indian attack, although the traditional famous lines are all about sack mates on the king side, I guess there's a lot of opportunity to play into a queen side game as well. Yeah, black can definitely steer you away from getting that in there. Alright, so the pawn drops, queen up, attacking that pawn. That seems like a massive fail. Oh, but you've got the check afterwards, obviously. So you take and then they check. Ah, yeah. Okay. Well, good find by white, I guess. Still, I wonder what the situation really is here. Gonna drop that pawn. Oh yeah, so just liquidate there and then this. Oh, okay, just to avoid the fork, right? And that pawn is gonna drop eventually. Yep, okay. So white's down a pawn structure, but they have the bishop there. Bishop hanging right now. What happens if you give this away? Isn't that a bit of a fail? Okay, now you take there. Fair enough. So white's going to try and get their pawn across. Black's going to try and prove that they definitely cannot do that. Oh my goodness, yeah, I just lost a piece here. That's tough. Alright. Oh, okay. And then they gave up. So I'm guessing, yeah, by now they were definitely in time trouble as well. That's a tough one. I'll go back a little bit after they trade off the queens. Okay, so over here, what's the... Okay, so black's already just better. Before you allow this... Okay, so from here, as soon as you allow this fork and the tactics that come along, black's just a bit better. GG. Okay, so quickly, I like this idea by black just to take the center completely, although the move order for it seems kind of unnecessarily strange, but anyway. And in the same way that you play against the king's Indian defense, right, you push this pawn if it hits a knight on the C square. If it doesn't, then you keep it maybe. Anyway, alright, pretty good. Let's move on to the next game. Let's see what happened on board 2. So on board 2, back to the Masters book. Let's see, it's a d4 game, I always like it. White is our favorite for this game, and the challenger is black. e5, knight f3, knight f6, c4. This order is apparently just better, but I never do it. I always just play c4 directly. Yeah, c4 directly, but knight f3 is apparently just slightly better. If you're gonna play it anyway, I guess. Against the Slav, perfect. I love playing in this position. e6 semi-Slav, I would play g3 here and play a Catalan. Oh, interesting. They decide to play queen b3 here. I don't know this very well. a5, I also don't know that, but oh, you can see here, big drawing at master level. a5 takes the pawn, opens up the other way. Now they're gonna play g3. Okay, we're on castles, develops a little bit, just very slow development, just putting everything out, trading off the darks for bishop, getting a knight in that square, very nice. Okay, I'm gonna take, or I'm gonna trade off, I guess. You don't want to take and allow them to come in onto the side of the board. Okay. Trying to get their pieces in, I guess. Yeah. Okay. White comes across. If you take there, is your knight trapped? Yeah, kind of, not quite. Like, can't I take this way? Oh, it's pinned to your queen though, so that's unfortunate. This is still equal though. Everything's a draw. Chess is a draw, and you drop your pawn on the side. Alright, so it goes back. E3, just protecting that pawn. H5. Interesting. So black's up a pawn structure, but they still have to make something of it. White's got a really nice knight on E5, uncontested currently, and a bishop which is still kind of waiting for its chance to do anything useful. And everyone's got a rook. I think I would prefer black's queen, but I'm also not sure what it's going to do if that pawn isn't grabbable. Okay, I guess if you take here, I take... No. If you take here, what do? I take there, I guess. Threatening here. Let's see. Take... Yeah, I take this way. It's a good one. Ooh, definitely don't want to go there. Okay. Jumps forward. Okay, opposes knights, trades those off, gets the pawn, but allows white to get in. Oh wow, yeah, options are limited, eh? Gets the rook active. Now I can hit it again. I can take a pawn, I can check. Oh, that's dangerous. I think I would have done this first, to be honest. I wonder. Because I'm kind of wondering if I can get my bishop out here at a point when it might matter. Takes the pawn instead. Rook over anyway. Okay, and we are in a seriously dangerous position here. That pawn is very weak. This pawn is also under attack. Checks first and then goes back all the way to oppose the... Oh, it's a check. Didn't realize it's a check. I was like, hang on, can't you just take here? And then that's great for black. Okay, yeah, got a check in. Trade off. Okay, I'm kind of getting an idea of what's happening here. Although I still feel like white would be playing a bit for a win here. You know, two pawns broken up, bishop versus knight. This rook feels a little bit misplaced. You know, it doesn't have access to all the open space here. But chess is a draw, right? Trade off everything. Yeah. Now I'm up a pawn. But how to make progress here? Tries to get the queen of the knight across, can't do it. Eventually gets the pawn up. You want them to take so you can take back. Because if you take, they take, and the king's coming in, I guess. Comes across, now you have to take. Running the pawn. Can't I just do this? Everything's a draw. This pawn's hanging. If I go here, you can still attack it. Okay, there's just no way to keep the pawns safe. Alright, so this is going to be a draw. And here, I guess, white offered a draw after taking the pawn. I guess the point is that unless black completely falls asleep, they've got dark squares to get their knight out from this position, and they're eventually going to be able to take either the pawn or the bishop, neither of which can move without letting the king come in. Right? So push here, I come in, you know, move the bishop somewhere, and if it's off this diagonal I can come in there as well. Alright, what is this queen? Queen b3 is not something immediately I know. Score's kind of okay. Let's see if it scores well in the... Queen b3, wow, okay, scores very well here. Okay. a5. Bishop g5 here scores incredibly good, but there's only 5 games available. Bishop b4. e3, a3. Okay. Yeah, this is apparently good for white. Oh, okay, but there's just a bunch of different games in here, so it's not like one clear strategy. Alright, on to the third game, Nanjo versus Nagataki. Also a draw. Nanjo black is our favorite. One second. No, never mind, it's fine. Let's go. E4 game. Tell me it's a Sicilian. C5, nice. I like it. Open Sicilian, very nice. Sveshnikov. Awesome. Awesome stuff. I love the Sveshnikov. I love playing it myself. I'm so glad to see black playing it. Nanjo actually I think is playing similar. They played the same setup that I like against the Rosalima with black as well in the previous round. And now they're playing the Sveshnikov against the Open Sicilian, which I'm also a massive fan of. D6, bishops, use A6 here. Oh man. If you don't play A6 you are so screwed. If you do this, then just like take in here and you just, oh man, everything's just terrible. So A6. B5 still pretty standard stuff. Bishop out, takes with the pawn. C3. Now you're going to bring your knight around like this. And for black, I think you're going to castle and you're going to try and they played rook b8. Is that necessary? If you just castle, I think I just castle here. Is there some kind of, there's a sack line there, but it doesn't help afterwards. So I'm not. Maybe it's because they want to move the queen, so they want to cover this square. Rook b8. Again, they're playing a move order that I don't really look at much myself. Okay. Alright, rook b8's not the way I would go, but alright, there the knight goes. Save the dark square bishop. And also the point being, you might want to trade it off for one of the knights. A4. Okay, did they expect A4 to... Oh, okay, maybe this is because they're expecting the A4 break. A4, take once, and that opens up the B file, so they have to come back. Takes again, now they have to take with the knight. Oh, I quite like this actually. So this is something I'm not used to. I don't normally play this way, but yeah, I mean, you're gonna lose this pawn, and this one is also kind of weak. And in the Sveshnikov, a lot of the time, even if white sacrifices, the point is that they get some queenside passes, and black is, because of this kind of setup here, and they can use this square for pieces, black kind of struggles to keep it together sometimes. Right, sacks the one pawn. Now I'm threatening to take here, and then either take with, no, I'll just take your bishop, I guess. Alright, so you gotta, oh wow, okay, so now your knight's oh, your rook's under attack. Okay, one quick attack, goes back. Oh man, and this is still all theory, hey? Interesting stuff. So I'm actually just gonna rook b8, yes. Knight c2, yes. Bishop g5, yes. a4, yes. bx, yes. Knight cb, yes. Knight xb, yes. Knight xb or cb. Yeah, knight xb feels a bit better. Bishop d7, it's all still. Bishop x, queen a5, queen xd, rook b6, queen d3, bishop e6 still there, bishop c4 still there, rook xb. Oh yeah, because if you take here, I take with check, then I take there, so you got to take that first. Fx or castles. Fx or castles. I like castles because it's still under attack here. I still have a potential threat here as well, depending on, if you take here, I take with check. And I also have this now. I don't know if I can use it, to be honest. Let's see, maybe they do that. Take to check, queen over, takes there. Fx. Alright. In this position, black is down in exchange. They've got a worse pawn structure, but they are up a pawn. And they've got a bishop, which is active versus kind of two rooks, but specifically the h rook, which is just doing absolutely nothing. Still theory though. Rook e1, queen f5, queen f3, e4, takes, and okay, so here we're running out of, okay, so the opening book just stops. This is all draws. There's one win, but this is all draws. Amazing. I don't know the Sveshnikov as a drawn game, but this is all theory. So I'm definitely going to go review this again later. I'm guessing this is still main. Probably trading this off as still main. Okay, g4, I don't know. Now you're telling me things I don't know about. It seems quite juicy. Oh, and this is the draw. Let's see. If I move away, and you fall asleep, say you give me some checks, I don't know, they're just slightly better. Okay, and I don't know, you protect it. Then I'm gonna start moving my rook over and getting my pawn through because I've got this. Ah, okay. So you really have to keep on attacking me constantly. If you go here, you have to go up. If I take, you take. Then my bishop's hanging if I do this, so you take here is way too slow, obviously. Well, amazing. Okay, I'm just quickly from the start. Just want to see where exactly they... Rook b8 is the move, I don't know. So c3, c4, both of these are kind of tricky to work with. I faced knight b1 recently, which I was super confused by, but I actually found the best moves for the next 4-5 moves, which was great, and then white completely went off the rails and I was able to win the game actually. c4 is another move that I'm struggling with. In that game they went knight, and here I don't remember actually. Oh no, here, this is actually the one I faced. And then this? No, screw it, I don't remember anymore. Anyway, then you go a5 or castles. I would probably go a5 here. g3, bishop g, interesting. Save your dogs for bishop eventually. Yeah, alright, so I'm actually really enjoying Nanjo's games. Okay, let's see. Alright, last one was Yamada-san, Yamada Kohei, who is coming up onto the fourth board to take kind of like the fourth spot in the tournament. At this point, you know, it's 9 rounds, so still a long way to go, but let's see. They are black. And they play the French. Oh, in the previous round we had 3 Frenches, which is pretty interesting as well. We had the U variation. We had the Wade variation, where you play your queen out and then you trade off the light square bishop. Yeah, interesting stuff. Advanced, everyone plays the advanced every game. Here, yes, all good. This again looks like the U variation, yeah. Okay, over, and now, yeah, white's coming here to defend the pawn, and black's coming here to attack the pawn. Take, attack, defend. And this is the same. This is still following the game from the previous round. There, I don't know if this is what they did though. Yeah, f6 is apparently just really good for... Oopsie, let's go... Oh, that's not it. Here, I want to see if f6 is good in the top leeches database. I don't know if I've ever played it. f6 doesn't score so well. Have I ever played... Not as black, as black, yeah, as black. I don't really know. Yeah, I've never played this variation with black, it seems. Unless you're still indexing 62 other players first. Alright, never mind. We're not going to be spending time on this. Alright, f6, bishop d3, bishop e7, castles. Oh, now we've got back into super mainline. Bishop x, ex. This is very similar, I think, to what happened in the previous one. Yes, still following the same line. Yes, now I don't know anymore. Yeah, here I don't know anymore, but definitely up to here, up to move 14, the previous round's game was exactly the same, I think. Alright. So there's still some leeches. General. Interesting how... I guess it makes sense, right? Everyone wants to copy the masters, but only for like the first 8 moves. And then the masters still follow theory for like the next 10 moves or whatever. And everyone else just like deviates. So top leeches doesn't have any more games, only masters has like 1 or 2 remaining. Alright, let's just have a look here. So, in this case where we like leave off, black's got the bishop pair, black's got a little bit more space, I guess, although this f-pawn, you know, you could argue for it in either way. Black's also a little bit more developed though, so I would say that this is maybe just tiny better for black. Apparently it's completely equal. But I feel like this is a little bit better for black, maybe just because they've got a bit more in the position. Alright, it's very slow, everyone's just making space and getting out the way. Yes, this is also something that happened in the previous game, and the knight was here, and I think I mentioned something like, oh, hang on, this knight's never going to get here, so this is quite nice for white. Yeah, so not trading it either, just keeping this very, very active knight. Okay, gets this one out of the way. Now this is weak. In the previous game, actually, they ended up taking here, and the rook was here, and they traded off just everything, basically. I don't remember if it was a draw, but maybe my memory's not what it used to be, but I think the whole world was destroyed, something like that. Alright, doubling up, I guess. Here comes that rook. Yes, that was also happening in the previous game, that move. Yes, this was also happening. Hang on. Is this... This is round 3. I literally think this is the same thing that happened that game. What in the world? Okay, now I'm not so... Is this a known draw? I'm actually just gonna go back quickly because this is crazy to have another game basically happen the same way. Yeah, did they mess up and they put the same game in twice? Or is this just kind of like a known thing? Everyone knows that they can make a draw with this line. Still the same, still very similar. Here I think something else was slightly, no, identical. Identical. So this is just like a known draw, I guess. Yeah, identical, all exactly the same, takes, and drawn. Alright, who wants to bet they made a mistake with the digiboard? Goodness me. Alright, apparently same game played on board 4 as the previous two players on board 4. That's bizarre. Playing for that draw, hey? Okay, I guess that's only, I mean, this is one of those things that's only possible against another person who knows the theory, though. Like, if I tried it, my opponent would go off on, like, move 3 and everything would be different. Wow, okay. Interesting, yeah. So everyone who's, like, won the first 2 rounds are now taking a draw, just trying to stay equal, trying not to risk too much, maybe? I'm not sure. Alright, let's move on to round 4. So that was the third round in the tournament. Now we've got one more round. So here again is Tran, Seed 1. He took on Averbukh, who is another foreigner. I don't know him very well, but I think he's also been here a long time. Oh, and here we have an upset. Aoshima lost against Kobayashi Atsuhiko. And then we have Nanjo beating Fujii Chiaki, who just played on board for the previous game. And then Otsuka Shou is back, and he's playing against Nakamura and Naohiro. Okay, and that was undecided. No result available. I'll just refresh and see if there was some problem. Oh no. Okay, well let's just go look on what the website says first. Round 4. Tran versus Averbukh. Kobayashi Atsuhiko beat Aoshima, which was the upset. Nanjo beat Fujii, and Nakamura tied Otsuka Shou. Otsuka Shou got another draw. Okay, interesting. Alright, so let's dive into it. Let's have a look at what the games were about. This is Tran versus Alex. Okay, ooh, starting with the English. Symmetrical English. Everything symmetrical. Everyone falls asleep. Chess is a draw. Ultra symmetrical. Yes, this does feel ultra symmetrical. Love it. It's very nice. Okay. Okay, and here we start to get something different. Now this looks a little bit... I don't even know what the Berlin is specifically, but this almost feels Berlinish. Stonewall kind of something is the other way around, but that setup definitely seems to say I'm going to be chilling out here. Alright. We're still following theory. Okay, I actually really like fianchettoing and knight g2. I myself have played this a lot. I guess in this specific case it might be because you're trying to break with d there and you want to keep this diagonal open. Knight e5, rook b8 is still a move. Queen d7 is the main one. f5 is a move. Alright, castles. Queen d, rook over bishop h. Yeah, just trading off the bishop and saying no thank you, no trade. I've moved my rook out of the way so you can't trade off, and I will keep this active bishop, and your bishop's kind of sitting in the corner. Okay, and here we also leave Masters. So really nice knight here. Because you have this bishop, I actually wonder if here, for instance, you took this knight, you take with the bishop. CXD is what they did in the game that's available. Bishop is a little bit better, but yeah, not so good to take. Well, apparently the whole position is kind of slightly tiny. Maybe better for black if you don't look too close. Alright, finally get the rooks connected, coming out with the G-pawn. Here's that break that we were expecting. Okay, so what you take, I'm going to take back. Got your queen, you take. I might take with my knight. Okay, just getting all the pieces together. Getting the queens out of the way. I like black's play, although apparently they lost, so tough one. But the general kind of, pressure into white is pretty good. This bishop does look like it's completely offside though. I myself probably would have pulled it back first. Although, where to? Here? I don't know. Yeah, maybe there's no, like here maybe. No, I guess not. Alright, that bishop's kind of stuck. Alright, finally trading off some pieces, getting a really nice knight on d4, d5. So you need that bishop to take care of it. Okay, trying to prepare. I was going to say you need this, but you can't get it, so I guess trying to prepare the break. White says no break, which also means that your bishop's kind of stuck forever. Which way do you take? I would... Honestly, I think I might take this way and then push this past, because I want to get your light square bishop stuck behind my pawn. Yeah, same. And, oh, no pushing past, just jumping in immediately. This is covered. So if you take what's... Oh, this actually is happening. Alright, so what's the take back with the knight? Alright, now both knights are pretty active. This square looks like it drops a knight, but I guess you can get something back. Let's see. Oh, this is very good for... Oh, dangerous. Very good for white, apparently, though. This whole position's gone kind of bad for black. Oh, there's a lot of tension here. Not as such in, like, everything immediately getting taken, but just... Yeah, there's a lot happening in the middle of the board. Takes back with the bishop. Queen, queen, type. I mean, this looks so drawish, doesn't it? 5 pawns versus 4. 2 knights and a bishop versus 2 bishops and a knight. So white's got a bit of pawn structure and they've got the 2 bishops, but they are apparently also just winning here. Okay, attacking everything, you're gonna move it. Trades it off. Okay, the 2 bishops. So now there's only 2 bishops versus 2 knights. That is tough. Oh my goodness. This guy's dominated. This guy's kind of doing nothing. Oh man, your knights are just completely out of the game. You know, yeah, like you do this, what does that help? You still can't take anything. Oh, and it's pinned to your king. I didn't see that part. Oh, this is crushing. Oh man. Yeah, okay, just completely missed. Yeah, just up a piece. What are you gonna do? GG, man. Okay, moving along. Let's look at the upset. So black is our opponent that we would is our champion who we would expect to win, and white Kobayashi Atsuhiko is the challenger who was able to scalp this very strong player 2372. Another English. Were they cheating? Were they looking at what the black player was playing? D5, E5, sorry. Bishop, yeah, okay. Wow, okay. F5, what's this called? Reverse close Sicilian. Oh, I see what you mean. Okay, I got you. Okay, very aggressive. I like it. Instant queen trade. Never mind. All right. Yeah, I mean this is probably still fine, but I don't specifically like it. check, gets the pawn out, hangs the... is that good? Hangs the e-pawn, and then what? So you take this, then what? I check you, you run away, I hit you, you run back, I guess. Okay, it just doesn't matter. No one cares about this double dev pawn. It is unimportant. Protects it anyway. Yeah, gotta get that rook out. Are you lifting it? That's kind of cool. That pawn... Whoa, interesting. You didn't take... Yeah, just moves back. Checks with check. That's very nice. Thank you very much. Here's a check. Oh, man. Okay, I can see how this might be going bad for black, though. White's probably just better here already. A +4! Oh my goodness. Hang on. Let's go back. Where did everything go wrong? Okay, already here this move was just not best. Taking the pawn is just a disaster. Oh wow. Yeah, I could have gone there but went the other way and just absolutely crushing. Alright, so in this situation, 2 rooks. What's this? 5 pawns versus 5 pawns, but this rook is doing nothing. This rook is defending a backwards pawn. Yeah, these guys are very active. This bishop's kind of just dead, hanging in the water. Okay, defends it, loses another pawn. Just losing all the pawns. Can't trade. Oh, I'm just so screwed. Yeah, trying really hard to stay alive, but White's just slowly working in there. Okay, I mean, this feels like... Yeah, I don't know. You've got the knight versus the bishop, you've got the defensive rook, and you've got doubled f-pawns that can do nothing, and White has a passer on the h-file. Yeah, okay, I guess this is just still very good. Yeah, it's a nice pawn structure, nice pattern. King up, can't do anything. Oh, just running in here. Oh, you can't take because it's mate as well. That's a great setup. Still mate if you take. Takes that pawn instead, takes that pawn. Always got this mace threat. Okay. And just up a pawn. Okay, so just went into an endgame here. Up a pawn. And this is called a what position? Lucina or Philidor? I can never remember which one's which. Akshak! Hey Akshak, nice to see you, man. Apologies for responding slowly. I don't know if you know about the Japan Chess Championship, but it's happening right now this weekend here in Tokyo. There's only 4 digiboards, unfortunately, so I only really get to see the top games, but it is interesting to see how they do. And this is all just... whoa, someone's trying to play Cheetah 65. Cheetah, apologies. Right now, I just want to finish this first. I'm not really doing games, but maybe another time would be fine. Oh, I can even... This is not the time, right? Me, please ask me again another time. Yeah. I appreciate the enthusiasm, but currently I just want to get through these games. Alright, and just a little bit of good theory here, trying to make sure that you get it up. The pawn's just got to keep on moving forward, and then you can get your king behind afterwards, and you've got to build the bridge, you know? Yeah, so what's going to happen is you're going to check me here, I'm going to keep on going, and check me here, and I can just come all the way through. Let's see you do this, then I go here, then I just queen. It doesn't matter, your king's too far away. Alright, very nicely done by the challenger. And so we have one of our top seeds who actually just lost the game. Alright, now we're back onto Nanjo. Nanjo, the white player, is the 3rd seed in the tournament. For the previous rounds, 2 of their games, they played something that I also play. One was the Sveshnikov, one was a setup against the Rossolimo, which I really like to see, so I'm hoping that they also play against something here that's fun. Play d4. It's an e4 game. Oh, it's an Abban. Oh, okay, hang on. The black's playing a line I like. d5 against the Alipin. Take, take. d4. Oh, I do not take instantly. That's That seems unnecessary. That's... what? Okay, I guess. CXD. That's... eh. That feels that you're just kind of like... oh wow, okay, so I'll give you a pawn but trade your queen off and just kind of draw against this higher rated player. Fair enough. Out comes all the knights and some checking. Hit that knight, take that knight. Oh, everyone's getting around. Interesting. And here, castling is the main move, but getting the queen out completely. I guess for the stronger player, they don't want to allow a trade to happen. Yeah, even with the bishop pair, there's definite chances here for a draw down this line, you know. Okay, so queen up, queen b, and then gets a pawn. Oh, and trades in the back. And importantly, doesn't take that, because then your b pawn's weak. Alright, defends the pawn, attacks the pawn. Doesn't trade off, because then this just activates the f-rook, comes across the side instead. And then trade some more pawns. So now white is up a pawn instead. And they've also got the bishop pair still, so pretty nice for them. But they have a slightly less active f-rook, so that thing's got to get in somewhere at some point. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, interesting. Oh, yeah, that's not good. That's a very pretty mate. I like that little trick. Very nice. Okay, I want to trade it off. Hits everything, attacks everything, saves everything. Now it's up 2 points. 3 points. 2 points. Can't count. 2 points. Oh wow, black is just slowly getting outplayed here. Attack, now they're up 1 pawn still. Oh my goodness, and there they... okay, were they low on time? Kind of low. Oh, how black is... yeah, in terms of time, way down. I don't like this. Okay, so I was excited for what I was going to see here, but taking directly... I mean, it's a million games in the top database still, but I don't know. Knight c6, knight f3, bishop g4, bishop e2. I don't think taking immediately is just a little bit less fun. The main point in terms of why I think you shouldn't take kind of fundamentally is just that you give this knight its best square. But it's not actually that big a deal, I guess. Definitely, so many people can still play this, but I was hoping for something different, so a little bit disappointed with what I saw there. This was indeed theory, as you say, Akshak. This was theory. Oh no, they didn't upload the last game. Alright, well we did see at least that it was a draw. So let's assume it was that French draw. since that French draw was happening twice on the same, twice on board 4 in round 2 and 3. Let's assume this was the same French draw. I'll actually see how much I can remember quickly, just kind of for the joke of it. Hang on, here immediately already. Let's remove this. Here, here, here. Here, here, here. Here. What else do they move first? Oh, here, this is the U variation is what it was about. I think they put this over here. Was it? Yeah, E2. Here, here. Takes, here, here. F6 is the one that everyone played. They castled, I think it's out. Nope, it's not out. It's FX. FX, Knight X. No, that doesn't seem right. No, I don't know. Anyway, this was the French draw that we saw. Alright, oh, another bullet. Killer Saba, 2800 in bullet. I don't know if you looked at my profile's bullet rating, but it's trash. I don't play bullets, so apologies. This isn't even a knight. I'm not willing to play this variant right now. I'm not a bullet player. I'm not good with fast time controls. Sorry, that's not gonna happen. But I appreciate the enthusiasm. Thank you very much. All right, so that's then. We've got 4 days. Is it the 4-day tournament? 5-day tournament. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 5-day tournament. We've got 2 days done. 4 rounds out of the way. Let's just quickly have a look at what's going to happen for next round. Oh, Nanjo versus Tran. So our first kind of top seed facing off situation. That should be really fun. Yamada Kohei playing against Nakahara-kan. Yamada Kohei was already up here in the top boards. I'm not sure Nakahara-kan if I've known them before. Kobayashi is the person who got the scalp on Aomura. Not Aomura. Mirai. Nantoka Mirai. Mukshi, I don't know. And Otsuka Shou against Yonimitsu Kohei. I also don't know Yonimitsu Kohei, but that's pretty good. And then Kojima Shinya used to be a lot higher, but they've slowly kind of lost rating. I don't know if they're not paying too much attention anymore or what the deal is there, but they've been dropping a little bit. Oh, Aoshima Mirai is the person who lost the previous one. Alright, but still a lot of rounds to go. I'm just going to quickly go down and see who my friends are playing against. So here, Tanaka Ryosuke, Araki Dai, another person from Osaka, and Sakai Injo, who's also from Tokyo, but comes to Osaka a lot for a lot of the tournaments, along with his wife, who I guess isn't in here, the other Sakai-san. Alright, pretty good stuff. I think we're going to call it there. Thank you to everyone who came past and had a look with the games with us. I really enjoyed having a look. I'm starting to become a little bit of a fan of the Nanjo player because of the lines that they choose, but we'll have to see what happens. Akshak, thank you very much for hello again. It's always fun to see you come past. I'm gonna get off now. I think it's time for me to go to bed almost. So I'm gonna go prepare, feed the little man one more time maybe before we go to bed. We're gonna just make sure he's doing good. So thank you very much everyone, and hopefully see you again either tomorrow night or the next day as we look at what day 3 brings. Be safe and take care. Ciao ciao.